Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I'm gonna show y'all how to do it all. What's good, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. It's your man Sight, and thanks for tuning in today. It's been a little while since I posted, probably a good, a little over 2 months. It's been a crazy time in a good way. A lot of good progress going on, with me and my family. So main announcement, main update is I am now officially in our new house. I'll show you guys some footage here. Modern farmhouse, 2,800 square feet, 1.5 acres of land. I'm just super excited. My family loves it. It's really beautiful. We moved in about maybe 3 to 4 weeks ago. So that set me back a little bit from, some of the stuff I wanted to do on the channel. So what you're looking at now is I'm in the garage. You can see kind of like my little tool setup over here. And the garage I always use as like a dual purpose, right? So I have my tools on one side, and I also make it into like my photo/apparel lab, and that's what the garage is gonna be eventually. But I had to kind of work in sections, kind of had to baby-proof the house. I got a 1-year-old and a 3-year-old. So there's been like installing baby gates and safety stuff all around the house I've been on. And now that I have a lot of that done, I'm able to focus and really lock in on my studio. So what I'm building today, I'm gonna show you guys some of the stuff I'm working on as far as my sound panels. I'm actually repurposing our old memory foam mattress. It's a really good quality foam. It's 12 inches thick, and I took about 6 inches of it of kind of like the most sound absorbent material that I found from it. And I basically split the mattress in half, cut it into sections, and came out with these really dope looking sound panels. The style that I was going for was kind of like Jay-Z Magna Carta Holy Grail was one of my favorite albums from him. So it was kind of like an alchemy vibe that I used for that album. You got the black and white, you got kind of like some geometric shapes and things like that. Kind of like the pluses or the cross, which is, kind of like positivity symbols. So I'm using that on some of the fabric, and then the other parts of the fabric, I'm using this kind of like geometric pattern. I guess you can say like cathedral windows or kind of like a cathedral style. Really dope, kind of like subtle feel. But I'm gonna give you guys a full studio tour once I'm done with everything. So let me show you what I've been working on with the panels. I'll give you kind of like a step-by-step of what I've been doing, and let me know what you think about it. All right, so sticking out the back of the truck here, I have two 1x4 planks, which are basically, I think they're like 10, 12 bucks a piece. And each one of these should cover a panel each. It did cover the 2-foot panels, fine, but I might have to get one more if I didn't measure it correctly. So we'll see. 34-inch panels are gonna be a little bigger. And as you can see, I had them cut. So this back here is 1/8 inch plywood, and I had it cut down to two 34-inch panels, and that left me with, I guess it looks like maybe about a 30-inch panel. So yeah, I got 3 panels out of it, but I'm only gonna use those 2 big ones more than likely. So that's the ones I'm gonna be making today. And that's like the backer board. So I'm gonna create a frame out of this and basically staple it to that. And then we put the foam inside, like a little box, like a little wooden coffin kind of thing. Pretty much I just take the fabric and wrap it over it. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started. Now, one thing, you can actually do this manually like I'm doing, or if you go to Home Depot or Lowe's, you can actually get these cut if you pre-measure, so you don't have to cut it yourself. Oh yeah, and don't forget your eye protection. And what I'm doing right here is making sure that basically once I cut, I'll make it a template, and that way both sides are even. So I'll do that for the sideboards as well as the ones in between. So once I cut one, I grab the other one and I use it, kind of as a, I guess, like a stencil. All right, so right here I'm drilling pilot holes, and basically the pilot holes are so when you actually use the screw, it goes in straight. So I'll use a smaller drill bit than the size of the screw. And then basically once I'm ready to screw the screws in, they'll go in nice and straight. These grips help a lot. You'll see them on the corners. It's kind of like having an extra set of hands. So if you have some clamps, some quick grips, go ahead and use them. So we got our frame situated, and now putting on the plywood, which is pre-cut at Home Depot, and this is going to be the backing. Looks like it's a little big, but it should be all right. Little 1/4 inch ain't gonna hurt too much on the edges. All right, so now I'm tacking down the backing board, and you can use regular nails for this. I just used a pneumatic nail gun, which is like a finishing nail gun. But if you have just really thin nails and a hammer, you can use that. Don't think a stapler will work for this, but you could also use screws if they're thin enough. This is the actual gun that I use, but it uses air from the air compressor, but you can also get ones with electricity, or you can just use screws if they're thin enough. So here we go, we've got the box done, which is kind of like a little coffin for the foam. We're gonna stick the foam in here. It's basically, you know, it's pretty tight. We're gonna stick the foam in there. I gotta go cut it out from the mattress first. Then we're gonna put it in here, and then we'll wrap the whole thing in fabric and staple some more on the back side. So really simple construction. As you can see, I put this together probably about 5 minutes. I'm gonna measure the inside of this, which should be about 32 by 46. And yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and cut that out. It doesn't have to be perfect, but usually the closer you get it to the edges, the better. And foam is a little flexible. You can kind of mush it in a little bit, and it still looks pretty good. But you don't want to make it too big because it'll start spilling out and looking lumpy. And if you cut it too small, you'll have little kind of gaps on the edges. So I try to keep it on point. This is a knife I use to cut the foam. It's just a regular serrated edge, just a bread knife basically. So if you have one in your house, you can use that. On this part, I tried to tack the corners down first, you know, and just do it one side at a time. So once I got the corners down, everything else is a little bit easier. I would just go along the sides and kind of tuck it and, you know, staple it down. These are actually staples that I used. You can use a pneumatic stapler like this one, or just a regular hand stapler like the one you see on the screen now. So this is the finished panel. I think it looks pretty good. Once I tacked everything down, it looked good. I just used regular picture hangers on the back. There's kind of like picture hanger racks. And then I put rubber stoppers on the bottom on each corner to make sure it doesn't move around too much. So I kind of hung it like a picture, and I really like the way it turned out. The textures look dope. It really added a lot of sound quality to my room. And yeah, I'm super happy, you know, cut down the reflections, and that's all I wanted. So if you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button down below, drop a comment so we can chop it up about it. And I'd love to hear any questions you have. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. Catch you on the next one. Peace.